Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to bring you a 12 by 12 process video. I'm going to be using these little flowers that I made in my last video, which I'll leave a link to down below, but they were paper flower tutorial, and we used lots of pattern papers, plain paper scraps, tissue paper, brads and enamel dots as well to make a couple of different styles of flowers. I'm thinking that because of the gorgeous colours in these flowers, let me just bring them on here. I don't know how viewable they are from up there, like whether they're on screen or not. I'm thinking that I'm going to use some mixed media. I'm going to use some acrylic paint. And I'm thinking about kind of watering it down a bit, splattering it around, not sure fully, but something along those lines. And I've got these gorgeous colours here. I've got like a blush pink by Do Crafts, a spring green by Do Crafts, and this gorgeous blue, which I think is called Bahama Blue, which is such a cool name, Bahama Blue, Bahama Mama, I don't know. Anyway, and this is by Americana, it's just a beautiful, doesn't it just look like a gorgeous sea? Oh, yes. It makes me want to go on holiday. Okay, so I'm going to use those. I'm going to use this smile as my title, and these are some thickers. They're sparkle thickers. I've had these for ages and I've used some, but not all of them, clearly. And I was kind of inspired for this layout, although I haven't even made it yet, but the inspiration comes from Scrappy Like a Fox's Trend Watch, which she did on Instagram TV. So I would recommend going to watch them. They're really cool. And actually one of my layouts featured, which I didn't know. So I was just watching them and I was like, oh my God, I'm famous. Yes, in the scalloped one. But I didn't I don't think I've ever done an hourglass structure. So it's where we've got two kind of pointed corners of pattern paper. And I'm thinking that I'm going to use pattern papers from this collection here, which is the Botanical Bliss paper pad by Hobbycraft. Actually really leaning towards this. I have used this paper once before. I think it's just beautiful, and I think that it really goes with the colours of these, even like the pinks and that are not quite in it, and the yellows. I don't know, I feel like somehow it might go. So I'm going to possibly try this pad, this page, or I might use some greenery, use some leaves and things like that. Don't think that one will work, but maybe one like this, a bit more white and cleaner. I'm not sure. But anyway, that's what I'm going to explore on this video now. So I hope you enjoy this video. So I've got my papers laid out here, and I decided on the purpley greeny background paper and this blue one, and decided to do two of these kind of triangle shapes pointing inwards to the centre. I'm just sticking my double-sided tape down now. I don't know why I did it that early, because I'm not going to stick anything down for a little while. But just to get ready. I'm squeezing out now some of these paints. So these are the three paints that I mentioned just now, actually, to you. It was ages ago for me, but just now for you. And I'm just squeezing them onto a stamping block because I was lazy and I couldn't bother to get up and get a plate or anything. And then I've just spritzed some water onto here, and I'm just splattering it down. I've gone right in the centre with this because I know a lot of this centre is going to be covered. So it's going to be covered by the photo and the two kind of corner pieces, or what's the word for them? Triangles. So I'm doing lots of splatters, and I'm having to actually wet the paint down quite a lot to get those splatters in there. And I think that this Bahama Blue goes really nicely with that. You can just see it peeking out there, that watercolour leaf patterned paper that's going to go on this layout. So, and then I'm adding some green. So again, I'm wetting it down with my spritzer, splattering it on. All of these blobs of colour that you see in the centre and here where I'm adding a little bit of green, I don't really know why I was bothering, it doesn't look great. It are going to be covered anyway by the picture, so not an issue that I don't like it. And then finally splattering some of this blush pink acrylic paint on as well. And yes, it's looking lovely. I'm very pleased with this. And I've tried to get a kind of triangle or V shape coming out from either end of that there. Now it's all dried, so this is actually about an hour later after I'd had some lunch. And then I'm just laying these triangle pieces down. I only used sticky tape initially, or double-sided tape, on the side there, so it gave me maximum manoeuvrability, because I find this double-sided tape is just from Hobbycraft, but it is very sticky, and if I stick it down and it was wrong, it's really hard to peel up. So this seemed like the easiest way. I'm just trimming these with scissors. You could, and it's probably more logical, to use an actual trimmer, but I was lazy. The trimmer was further away than the scissors. So scissors it is. And I think, am I going to go on to the next one? Possibly. So trying to make a little bit of room on my desk here. Yep. So I'm just going to add this next one down here. And just layering it up. I'm trying to make sure that the corners of the paper are kind of covered by the pattern paper. Didn't really want like bare corners. Oh no. That's literally a nightmare. And then I'm just using some more double-sided sticky tape to make sure all these corners are stuck down. Okay, and then I think I'm going to trim, and then I'm going to start sticking these blue pieces down. So yes, trimming again. What I really love about this layout is that adding the second layer of triangles, the blue kind of watercolour leaf paper, adds, or it makes the background, this purple and green one, look like a cross. So you'll see it in a minute. I hadn't really noticed it to start with. Yeah, it's a bit strange. I'm kind of literally looking at the layout right now, and I can see this cross, and it just looks really cool. So it was more of an accident than a thought process. But I think it's really nice. It adds some more interest, and it is just such a beautiful pattern paper, that one. Really like it. So it's it is my favourite one from that paper pad, although I do really like this purpley one in the background. Okay, and then I've used a minimal amount of double-sided tape so that I can manoeuvre this around if I need to. You could be really precise with this and use a ruler or something and make sure you get it in the centre, blah, blah, but it's not my way. So it's arguably not as central as it could be. I don't think it looks like off-centre particularly. Once you've got everything on the page, it's not really certainly what I would look at, but yeah, by all means use a ruler and just kind of straighten it out a little bit, and line it up if need be. So again, just trimming the edges so I can get a look at the kind of finished sort of structure of the layout. So I've got this kind of base in place, and then I can start working from there. I'm adding a little bit more double-sided sticky tape as I go. Again, I'm using it perhaps more sparingly than I would normally, because I just want a little bit of kind of control, really. Then I decided to use more of this gorgeous pattern paper here as the background for my photo. So I'm just mounting the photo here. At the moment I'm just using double-sided tape to stick it down. Then I'll trim the edges, and I will be adding some foam tape to the back of this. I'm not too worried about using dimensional stuff in my layouts generally, but especially not in a layout like this, because the flowers that I have are dimensional anyway, and they're going to be a major part of the layout. So adding the foam didn't seem like that big of a deal, because the layout was going to be bulky either way, with or without the foam behind the picture. And I like the kind of little bit of drop shadow that a bit of foam can add to your picture. So here I am, just kind of laying my flowers around, trying to work out where I want them to go. I suspected that I might not use the yellow flowers, but in the end I do use those, so which is good actually. And I have a more kind of relaxed approach to it in the end. I started trying to line them up, but it became for me too regimented, too linear, and controlled, which I struggled to enjoy. I'm getting there with them. I definitely have a bit of appreciation for more linear layouts than I used to, but yeah, I do like the kind of random, the controlled random. So, okay, I'm sticking the picture down now, and then I'm going to get to sticking all these flowers down. And I just used some glossy accents. I just didn't add any foam or tape or anything like that behind them. And because they had brads, they did need quite a big blob of glue. Oh, no, I've lied to you. I'm not going to do that yet. I'm actually going to add this title, which is Smile. And yes, I tried it at the bottom there, but I preferred it at the top. This is just from a Thickers set. It's very glittery and teal, and I do love a teal colour. And then I'm going to add some journaling here. Journaling's really not very interesting. It was just about the fact that this was a selfie before we went out. And I think I'm just going to add that there. And the colour of this pen, I'm not sure what the name of it is. It's like lapis or something like that, I think. But it's an Artista pen, and it's got a brush pen on one side, and then this I don't know what you would call it, just ordinary pen the other side. And I really liked the colour of it because it drew on some of the colours from the purpley, bluey, greeny, pink background. Yes, and now I'm going to use some glossy accents. You don't need to use glossy accents, any glue will do. I just had this, and again I was being lazy and I couldn't be bothered to try and find some others. I've got a nice kind of like acrylic glue, which I really like, and I think it comes from the range, but it's got really clogged, and it's too much hard work kind of getting the cloggedness out of it, so I need to sort that out at some point. And then I'm just going to go through with some double-sided sticky tape and just make sure all these little corners are stuck down. So where I was very casual with my double-sided tape, there are a few bits that are kind of like lifting and becoming apparent that they're going to be annoying to me. So just sticking some of those down, and then just giving those flowers a little press to make sure that they're getting stuck. Give them a little press again, you don't want them to come up. So you'll notice here that I've gone for a kind of diagonal pattern, which is regular for me. And I'm just adding to that diagonal embellishment cluster, as it were, by using some different stickers. So I've got some stickers from Pinkfresh Studio. One says love this and the other one says remember. And then I'm also adding some Pebbles stickers from a 12x12 sticker sheet. And it had these cool leaves in a couple of colours. And then finally, I'm just going to finish this layout off by adding some brads to it. So these brads I got, if you watch my previous video where I made the flowers, you'll know, but I got 500 of these tiny little brads, and they're really gorgeous colours. I absolutely love them. I do generally like using brads on layouts actually, but I thought I would use them in place of enamel dots. So these are actually a lot cheaper than enamel dots for me as well. So yes, I'm really pleased that I got these. And I'm using just a selection of colours that draw in colours from the flowers and from the background. So I've got some yellows. This is a nice sunshiny yellow. There's some green ones, some pink ones, some blue ones that are going to go on here. And they're just going to kind of follow this diagonal pattern. And I do like to do diagonal embellishment kind of clusters, as it were. I think it's because, well, just like I guess any crafter has this automatic maybe, or just the style that they find comfortable and natural to them. And for me, when it comes to scrapbooking, I find a diagonal is an easy way to kind of place embellishments in a way that doesn't require too much painful thought. So if you're someone who likes to do it in like little groups of threes, or if you like to have the picture in the centre, or whatever your thing is, I think it's a good thing to call on, particularly when you're going to try something very different out. So this kind of structure of the pattern paper in the background was different for me. So placing the embellishments, it was easy to do that in a way that came more naturally. So something worth thinking about for sure. And I think this is pretty much my layout done. I toy with using some other stickers, but I don't end up doing that. So thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I've got more tutorials coming. I feel like I've been a bit lax on the tutorial front recently, and I'm sorry about that. And I'll see you in my next video. So thumbs up and see you later. Bye.